Okay, good afternoon everyone. I'm the main event, I guess. Some of us have left and some have joined, so I'm glad you can make it. My name is Cowieson. I'm the Business Development Manager for Archer. Archer is mainly a platform drilling contractor based in the UK, probably the largest in the North Sea. And I'll go through the corporate slides very shortly, but I guess I'm going to talk about quality in oil and gas drilling operations. What I'm going to do is keep it nice and short because it's late night shopping, so we all want to get out of here fairly sharply. We're going to take it from two ends of the scales. One is one of our main core businesses is platform drilling operations, designing of a modular rig, right the way down to how do we use quality standards and procedures to a basic tool that sets our technologies apart. So that's the basic theme of where I'm going to go, and hopefully I won't bore you too much. So what are we saying here? What is Archer saying? Quality processes and procedures are key factor for success in any drilling operations. What are we really saying about that? Archer take that as meaning that our portfolio is based on people, technology, and services. Everything is underpinned by doing that. You've got to have procedures and processes in order to benchmark how you deliver a quality service. So here we go, the corporate fluff. Archer, we've been around for 40 years. We're actually a corner shop compared to some of these guys here. We've only got 8,500 employees worldwide. But we are into some very interesting and technological industries, such as the integrity. Since Macondo, there's a really big focus on well integrity. To intervention, how do we actually fix the problem once we find it? Unconventionals, everyone's interested in shale gas right now, whether you're for it or against it, campaigning down in England because you're going to interrupt their strawberries and cream, and production drilling. So I guess what I want to point out here is a little bit more of an overview. I'm not going to go through every single slide here or every single word, but as a company, 8,500 employees, we get involved in a huge amount of different technologies and services. So what does that mean to you is people going on to be postgrad or undergraduates here. You want to enter the industry, you want to do something interesting. It's not necessarily sitting there on the auditing side, it could be in research and development. It could be in the operations. Quality goes right across the spectrum and into some pretty interesting technologies and applications. So as you can see, an oil industry, why would you get involved? You're very lucky to be at RGU and have Wood Group PSN sponsoring the CQI charter. You're in the right place to get into one of the most interesting industries in the planet as far as I'm concerned. I've had the very much fortune of getting a degree from here somehow. I think it was before the technologies for copyright, and and also I've come in from a background of offshore drilling operations. I had an epiphany one December standing on the drill floor saying I really don't want to be here in 50 years' time doing the same thing with horizontal hail hitting my face. So I came here, and now I'm the idiot onshore who gives these talks and tells you why is quality important and why do we do these type of things. You can see here we go right the way around the world, mostly in America, but now we're expanding to the east. And tell you what, I've been to most of these locations, so it's a fantastic life. So the main purpose of the talk, I'm going to show you a small movie here, but before I do that, I'll switch the volume off, which I forgot to do. Apologies. So keen to get going and get out of here. Okay, so I'm going to pick on a couple of topics here to keep it nice and light. When we talk about quality in drilling, it's generally associated with two main things. Is the equipment fit for purpose? And most importantly, is it right first time? So I'm about to show you a video here. Hopefully this works, technology and all that. Oh, maybe. Yes. Okay, so it's an old video from the frontier days of drilling. What do you think? Where's the quality in here? Does that meet the objective? This guy's drilling a hole. So obviously this equipment's fit for purpose and it's right first time. But where is the quality in that? It's a very subjective topic, which hopefully I'll go into and talk about. The reason why I show this is because it's quite interesting to see how the world has shaped and changed through lessons learned. You've got a very small crew, one-man drilling crew, which everyone who's involved in this industry is inspiring to keep the POB down because, as it's pointed out, it's very resource constrained. You've all got so many people. Quality. The rig's fit for purpose, but he's using a 1941 Chrysler to power his drawworks. Is that the right technology? Where's the safety? Where's the history behind it? Where's the maintenance procedures? And of course, my favourite bit, bring your child to work day. So, I guess it's, where's the safety side of the aspect of that? That's my favourite part of the video. So this is obviously from the frontier in the US, California, Southern California. You can see his drilling derrick, and in the background, if you pay some attention, you see the various different types of pieces of drilling derricks going around. So what does quality management and quality systems do? It gives you a bit of standardization. There's so many different packages and ways things are doing there. Where is the standardization? How could you guarantee that you're going to have a safe well? And also I like how you lubricated his nodding donkey in the flooded lake. So I'll let this one finish. It's probably one of my favourite videos. Should just be about there. Yeah. So, success, hopefully. So, everyone's view and perception of quality varies. To answer the question, which is actually defined in the English dictionary about what is quality assurance and all that, is the equipment was fit for purpose. He was drilling a well there. The rig was drilling it fine, fit for purpose. Did he get it right first time? Well, taking a look at there, he probably had a few attempts in getting his equipment rigged up. So, how do we eradicate the subjectivity? And this is where people aspiring to get into the project management, the quality management side of the business, and the standardization and standards and development procedures and that get involved. You get around, get a common goal, and we establish a set way of doing things. So, slightly without telling the people how to suck eggs here, because I'm talking to a quality management seminar, I guess as you know it, quality management goes back to the First World War, when a lot of the troops on the front line were getting rather annoyed that their shells and guns and bullets and stuff weren't working. So a lot of people started to develop processes in their manufacturing procedures. So that really is the birthplace. But seeing how the theme is about oil and gas operations drilling, and I'm a drilling contractor, we'll talk about the standardization of drilling equipment. And it first really started in 1919 with the American Petroleum Institute. They were founded, one, to lobby government and all the rest of it. Things haven't changed in the States, but two, was to create standardization. Set series of procedures and processes for everyone to follow through manufacturing, operation, and managing continual improvement. So that was obviously adopted into the ISO standards, NORSOC standards if you're Norwegian. So it was in 1987 that the ISO 9001 management system was released. So that was really a step away from the American Petroleum Institute looking at how do you manufacture a piece of drilling equipment. That was really what the standards and specs were focused on. So now we're looking into the peoples, the competencies, the management systems of how you do your business. Basically, the idiots on shore, how do we give them the right tools to do the job? So when we're talking about the drilling industry, and that gets me slightly annoyed because I've been based in the UK. I joined the industry when Scotland last qualified for a World Cup, so quite a few years now. So it's 98, if you want to do the math. I did have an uphill paper round. Everyone says that the 2010 incident, the Macondo incident, was a wake-up call for the industry. Not in my eyes, it wasn't. Not certainly here in the UK. To be brutally honest, it was Piper Alpha, and we're quite lucky to have one of the survivors still working for Archer. He champions our step change and processes, and also is actively involved in the CQI, and luckily I got to take his place because he's got a fantastic job in Rio right now. So sorry for that. But what am I saying about that? When quality really started to be processes and procedures and systems came in, it really came out of the Cullen report, where he had 106 recommendations. And to be brutally honest, maybe 4 or 5 were related to manufacturing. It was all about how people manage their processes, systems, competency, stuff like that. So you can see that you get involved in a huge range when you're involved in the quality management systems. So, again, without telling you how to suck eggs, business management system. To me, what is it? It's 8 management principles. 1 is your customer focus. Your business. No, 8. 8 minutes to go or 8 minute total? I'll be quick. Customer focus, leadership, involvement of people, which is very key, process approach, which Neil went into quite a very interesting topic about process approach and how Wood Group and PSN have merged. Systems approach to management, which was covered in our first talk from Lloyd's Register, Ian. Continual improvement, a theme in both. It's going to be a theme in mine, I guess. A factual approach to decision making. That's a very key one in my eyes. And at the end of the day, is it mutually beneficial? So that was just a little bit of background. What we do at Archer is, how do we convey that to Joe Public, to our workforce on the drill floor, to a guy running a wireline unit in the middle of the Brazilian jungle? We have a management system that's web-based and accessible to all. That's one way that you ensure that you can give that out to the general public. But what I'm going to do now is sort of take the theme back to what I started with the rig fit for purpose and how things have changed, and really how the variety of topics involved all have the theme running through it related to quality. So for example, when we go to design a modular rig, we designed a brand new rig. It's now drilling off the coast of New Zealand. It's been doing very well for a year or two. Safety become a massive aspect. Technical safety, cracking buzzword of the moment. But what does that mean? You've got people looking at structural integrity. You've got people looking at containment and process safety, emergency shutdown systems. So you've also got people doing the research and development on, like, for example, if there was a jet fire with a rig, how can you ensure that that rig will survive long enough for your people to escape? Very much so on the same process of Macondo. A lot of the people, 11 tragically died, but a lot were able to escape because of the process safety and the fire and gas and emergency systems introduced. So it's a huge learning from before. Working environment, that's another big buzzword of the moment, is ergonomics. How do you remove people from harm's way? How do you use technical applications? What chemicals you use? How do you stop it going to the environment? All of these will require professionals to come up with standards, procedures, processes, and people to obviously to review them and to ensure that we comply with them. Efficiency, major one at the moment is power consumption, emissions, and in the drilling world, simultaneous operations. How do we not hurt people? Because like every operator, they want it done quickly, but they want it done safely. Reliability. So I guess we go back to that first one there is 1941 Chrysler. I'm pretty sure he would struggle to get spares for that car. So we're looking at reliability, material traceability. So if you do have an incident, you can go right back to the source, find the root cause. So there's people get involved in that side of the industry where quality is involved. And really for us in Archer, where our main focus on reliability comes to robust acceptance procedures and robust commissioning procedures. How can we ensure that this piece of kit that we're essentially going to put onto a ticking time bomb will operate safely and efficiently and deliver what the client expects? Technology, well that's everything's changing every other day. I mean, our rig, as I said, it is pretty much the Xbox generation. You've got drillers in the past, that guy running around working the brake, doping the pipe so it can all connect together. Now we've got a guy sitting with a cup of coffee, playing with a console. So, but he's still doing the same job, still has the same responsibility, so we still have to focus on operability sides. Personnel training and competence, so if you wanted to enter to the HR or the quality side of the business, you really focus on that, which was touched on at the end of Neil's presentation there. Processes and procedures, which was touched on very much so in the first presentation. Fantastic being last, I can just blame them. And then the environmental design criteria, that's another topic. So again, leave you with a small one here on the rig and the difference in rig technology today. And I'll talk you through a few examples if I've got enough time. If not, I'll drop it short. So there you go today. Before, there was a guy manually handling the pipe. He's now sitting in a crane cab, air conditioned, cup of coffee next to him. He's not going to nip his fingers picking it up, but what dangers and what quality processes do we need to implement there? Well, there's anti-collision technology. There is electrical working in hazardous areas. Could a spark cause a hydrocarbon to explode on the platform? Because you're on a platform that's producing hydrocarbons. Obviously, there's the computer analysts designing this for touchscreen, touch-and-play technology. There's the material traceability. It's working in a harsh environment where temperatures can get down to around -10. You've got salt content, so that will corrode your steel, so you're looking at structural integrity. So all this type of things. So this is really, you go from the first example, the one guy in the frontier drilling, to today's modern drilling rigs that have taken a lot of lessons learned through the past, whether through experience, incidents, and or the introduction of procedures and standards and processes to the products here, where now we can deliver wells with less crew, more efficiently, and at reasonable cost to our clients. They'll always complain. But like we said, we're a business. I realise I'm short of time, so I can stop the animation. I can leave a copy with you. You can put it on the website or something. So the last one, I suppose, is I'll really quickly touch on. It doesn't just stop in the oil and gas industry at topsides. You're putting a well into the ground, and typically most completions that our guys put in could have up to 2,000 components in it. So someone has to, one, design them, so R&D, quality control on the testing and manufacture of that. It's also in a harsh condition. How do you deploy it? Is there procedures, processes? But eventually, everything fails. So one application that we spent a lot of time was on developing a plug that's designed in accordance with an ISO standard, which gives you a V0 rating. For the non-technical in the room, it basically means if you set this plug in the well, there will be no gas that can escape and eventually cause an explosion. It's V0 certified and rated. Where our R&D guys have used a set standard set out by a group of peers and used it to create a tool or a product that, one, meets customer expectation, but two, sets us apart from our competition. So when we talk about quality, it's not just sitting in a darkened room in brown cords ticking through checklists. You get involved in R&D development and using these types of technology to your advantage. So I realise I'm short on time and delighted that I was up last, so I can only talk for a short amount of time. I'm going to leave it there and open the floor to questions. So hopefully that covered the theme.